Today we're going to make canned butter. I like to make canned butter for the holidays because at Christmas and Thanksgiving I always use more butter than is imaginable. Anything that's good, you have to have butter for. So these canned butters are already canned, and we're going to can more butter. I've already started unpackaging them. They're right here. The first thing that we have to do though is I've already washed the jars, and now I'm going to put them in the oven and let them sit on 275 while we wait for the butter to melt. Okay. The next step that we're going to do is we put all the butter into the pot and then it melts. So I have the butter sitting on medium-high right now. By the time I finish unwrapping all this, it'll already be almost all melted, and then you'll bring it to a boil. Okay, now you stir it up really well. Butter is almost melted. There's just a little piece left in there. You melt it all. After it's totally melted, then we're going to let it come to a simmer, like almost a boil, not a boil, for 10 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to start taking the foam off of the butter. You have to take all the white foam off before you can it. Okay, now it's finished. We've finished getting the foam off, and now we can pour it into the sterilized jars. Okay, now we're going to get the jars out of the oven. The jars are hot, the butter's hot, so be careful at this point. It's nice having a funnel because it's not going to get on the rim of your jars. You also want to leave about a ½ inch space on the top. Okay, we're wiping off the seal, making sure there's no grease on the jar top, because if you have any grease on it, it won't seal properly. Now we're putting the tops on. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to put the screw top on. You want to just do it lightly because we're getting ready to put it in the canner, and we'll screw them tight after they've sealed properly. The jars are very hot, that's why we're using this. Alright, it's totally sealed. In a few minutes this is going to pop up and it'll tell us that this is at a full boil. Once the little thing pops up, we're going to sit there and let it boil for around 20 minutes. Now I turn the stove off. Now we have to wait until it cools down before we open it. As soon as this little knob goes back down, it'll start cooling down, and then we can take the top off. Okay, the little button is down, so we can open it up now. You can never open it as long as the little button is still up. So it's down, so I still carefully, slowly open it just in case there's any pressure left in it. That's good to hear. Okay, when you hear the cans popping like you just heard, that means they're sealing. Alright, we're done making canned butter. The two things that I want to say in conclusion are that anytime you've canned anything, you've home canned anything, when you store them and you open them for the first time, you always want to make sure that when you open it, there's nothing inside of it that's looks unusual. If you have mold growing, throw it away. If it's not sealed, it's sealed when, like right now, this is already sealed. When you press it in, it's not popping up, so it's already sealed. In your storage time, sometimes those will start to pop back up. You throw those away if they're not sealed. So if you see anything unusual growing, you always throw that away. The other thing with canning is working with the pressure cooker. You have to be really careful because you never want to open it when there's still pressure in the pot. And lastly, bacteria growing in anything that you're canning is never a wanted thing. And so as long as you've sterilized everything you're using, the tops, the jars, and then it's cooking to high heat in your pressure cooker, it's killed all the bacteria. But sometimes if it didn't seal well, say that you had a little bit of butter grease on the top of the jar, it might not seal properly, and that's when you can get bacteria in it. So anyway, you can always tell though when you open it up if it doesn't look right, if there's something growing in there. That's how you make canned butter.